Welcome to the Digital Prosperity Podcast, the show for small and medium-sized businesses who want to get more traffic, get more leads, and get more sales from their website. So if you want to improve your business strategy, stay up to date with the latest sales and marketing technology, and learn specific marketing techniques that can keep your business ahead of the pack, then this is the show for you, as the JDR Group brings you ideas, motivation, and inspiration to help you attract ideal clients and customers. And here is your host, Will Williamson.
Hello, welcome to the Digital Prosperity Podcast with me, Will Williamson. This week's show is called How Can You Increase Business When You're Selling Via Distributors, Resellers, and Wholesalers. This is a common business model. I was with a client yesterday who rely on sales via distributors, and this is a challenge we've come across over the years many times. Now, if other people are selling your products for you, this can be a really good model, because if you find just a few good accounts, it can lead to years and years of high revenue. Your resellers, your distributors, your wholesalers, they deal with all of the marketing, all of the questions that people get, all of the customer service. They deal with all the invoicing, the deliveries, they deal with all the marketing, and you just provide the product to them. And as long as you do a good service and you provide a good product, then you should be able to rely on years and years and years of good income from, as I say, just a few good accounts. However, the challenge is you're not dealing with the end customer. You're not in charge of the selling. You're not in control of how your products are marketed and sold to the end user. It effectively means that you're reliant on someone else to do your selling for you. Now, that's great as long as it's going well, but if sales drop, then you have a problem, and it can be harder in this type of business model to grow your company. So what can you do to increase your business if you have this type of business model? Well, firstly, let's start by taking a look at the products themselves that you sell. That's always the starting point in my view. Can you add new lines? Can you develop existing lines to make your products more attractive? Ultimately, the reason why your distributors may not be selling as much as you would like them to might be that other competitive products are more attractive or appear more attractive to their end user, and they want to retain their customers. So if other people choose competitive products over yours, they're not going to complain. Either way, they make the sale. So if you have a better product, you should get better sales. But also, it could be that your distributors make better margins selling your competitors' products. So if your sales drop via resellers, distributors, wholesalers, where you've always enjoyed good sales previously, it's really important to spend time with your customer trying to understand why that's happened. You might want to invest in market research to the end user to understand the perceptions of your products and understand why people are choosing competitive products, if that is what is happening. So I would always start there. Now, another thing that you can do is to look to simply open new accounts. If you have, let's say, 30 resellers and distributors, and that accounts for all your revenue, and if their revenue drops because they are not selling as much as you would like, or it's just static and you want to grow, then simply go to 35, 40, 50 accounts. So have a look for the accounts that you haven't opened that you may well be able to open. And this could mean looking at different regions, different locations, or it could mean being creative. Just like if you take the coffee brands like Costa and Starbucks, they are not just selling via their retail stores now, they're in other people's stores, they're in garages, they're in theatres even. They've got concessions in several different places. They've found other places where they can sell their products. So open new accounts. Now, that may be not possible. You might have a fairly high saturation level in your customers. So one thing you want to do is to provide marketing support to your distributors, to provide content that they can use to help market and sell your products. For example, you might want to produce a database of all of your products with the prices, descriptions, the part numbers, an image file, so that if any of your distributors or your resellers want to sell the products online via e-commerce, you can simply send them this database file and they can just upload it to their websites and make it really easy for them to be able to sell your products online. Other content could include technical data sheets. You might want to invest in video that promotes the products, that makes it easy for them to embed or share those videos to promote the products themselves. You might want to invest in point of sale. You might want to invest in market research or independent research that proves how good your product is. Tests where you run your product against a competitive product that proves how much better yours is. That content then that your customers can use to sell that to their customers. You could run demand-based marketing campaigns. So these are campaigns that are designed to promote your brand, to promote your products to the end users. In other words, to try and create awareness of your products and services to drive demand so that the end users demand the products from your resellers, distributors, and wholesalers. You might want to start a blog where you create regular content that announces new products, new promotions, and that just generally promotes your products. This can help drive traffic to your website. If you are running pay-per-click advertising, blogging, using social media, you're driving traffic to your website, this can be a big boost for your brand. It creates awareness. It drives traffic, which then you can use as evidence when you want to open new accounts. So if you're talking to a potential new distributor, you can tell them how many people visit your website, how many people search for your products, and you can also generate inquiries from the end users that are actually looking to purchase the products and pass these on to your customers. Finally, you could agree on and run promotions, so you can look to run short-term offers that drive demand. And while you don't want to be doing that all the time, some kind of short-term incentives can lead to people buying your products for the first time, which can ultimately change their long-term buying habits. Now, finally, if all of this doesn't have the impact that you want it to in terms of your business growth, you may well want to consider selling directly. In other words, opening your own store or your own online store where you can sell direct to the end user and bypass those distributors. You may run the two things alongside each other, continue to sell to the distributors, resellers, and to sell direct to the public. Lots of companies do this. Nike have a range of their own retail stores, as well as selling via distributors and wholesalers, etc. Same thing with Apple. So plenty of big brands do this. And in the software industry, plenty of software companies sell their software products directly to the end user, but they also sell via resellers and third parties. So it's more than possible to run both models, but it can be risky because you can upset existing customers when you do it. So there are two approaches. One is to hide it from them by launching this new company as a brand new brand with a completely different company name that's completely unlinked to your brand. Now, that can keep it quiet and it can mean that your customers don't find out about it, or at least not quickly. It gives you time to let it grow and build. However, you're also starting a brand new business and you're starting effectively from square one. So that can have limited effect. The other approach is to actually start selling directly via your main company website, in which case it will be there for everyone to see and you'll need to tell your customers that that's what you're doing. Now, a couple of ways to minimize the potential risk there are to only sell in regions which are not covered by your distributors or wholesalers. So I've had this conversation with a company that provide motoring products where motor factors sell their products to garages. Well, they only have motor factors in certain towns in the country, and there are whole stretches of the UK that have no coverage. So it's perfectly reasonable for them to be able to sell online to reach the garages that don't have a local motor factor stocking their products. And your customers would be reasonable and understand that. The other thing is that customers would get unhappy were you to undercut them. So if you communicate that you're not going to undercut them, you're going to sell at the same price that you recommend they sell at, then you can minimize the resistance to you taking this approach. So it can be risky, but there's also a big upside if you can get it to work well and you can take a bit more control over the sales of your products. So in conclusion, you can open new accounts, you can drive demand, and you can invest in content that your customers can then use. You can cut out the middleman and you can sell direct, and you can run offers and promotions. Now, if you'd like to know more about offers and promotions, we have a free resource which you can download directly from our website. If you go to jdrgroup.co.uk, go to the resources tab on the top and go down to free guides, you'll see the ultimate guide to special offers and promotions. You can download this for free and it covers everything you need to know about running offers and promotions via your website that can help drive demand and drive sales and generate leads. So I hope that's been useful. I'm Will Williamson. I look forward to speaking to you very soon.